Welcome to the next instalment of state-of-the-art underwater carp fishing. My name's Danny Fairbrass and this is a beautiful Burfield common that we've just taken on maggots. And in this part we're going to look at loads of different particle baits like maggots, hemp, maize, frenzied stuff, loads of really lovely particles that we haven't used on any of the other films, and we're going to carry on going through loads of different rigs just as we have done in the other films, and carry on developing things and developing them to help me and help you get more bites. We've noticed these fish are really spooky in the clear water, and we're very lucky to get this one this morning. We're only fishing in 5 feet, halfway up a very steep slope, and we bagged him within a couple of hours of starting, so very welcome start to the day. Hopefully we're going to get a lot more action for you. I've certainly learnt loads already, and I'm sure I'm going to carry on learning, and I'm sure you will as well. So let's backtrack a little bit and have a look at me into this stunning Burfield bar of gold. Gorgeous, absolutely yeah. Oh, thank the Lord, thank the Lord. Feels a heavy fish on the maggots. 10-pound IQ hook link and a prototype fluorocarbon anti-tangle leader as well, just 2.5 foot long. Hopefully the fish will be a bit longer than that. This feels like a nice fish. It's very nice to be into a carp again after a couple of days of very hard fishing. We were only just talking about putting out another rod in another area because this area seems to be getting fished out, but everywhere else on this lake unfortunately it's too deep. We put maggots on this morning as this is obviously the start of the particle section, and it's only a little fish. It's a common, but it hasn't taken long, I have to say. A lot of people complain about these infinities and say that they're too stiff, which it always amazes me. I mean, these 2 3/4 infinities must be the perfect English fishing rod, I would have said, unless you're fishing at absolute extreme range, you know, 12 or 15 pound line up to about 120 yards. I'll get these ones custom built for me by Bevan Carp Tackle in Essex. They do make a nice job of them, I have to say. Right, we're getting close now. Oh, off the dorsal there, I hate it when that happens. He might be a little bit heavier than I thought he was, because he's got a bit of a belly on him. And this one's on the IQ with the maggots on a loop. We've got a new maggot clip, if you like, to show you a bit later on. I'm going to put this rig back out again because obviously it's been successful. You can see the maggots hanging there in his mouth, so I think the hook is only just in. Got the sun in my eyes as well. But we've got him. Yes! Come on! Wicked! Top result. Right, what's that rod there, Rodney? Right, where was it? There was the hook. I would have said in there. That was the hook in the corner of the mouth. Beautiful creature.
Yeah, okay.
Okay. Gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. There you go, my love. Been very good for us as well. You don't want to let them go when they look this pretty. Off he goes. Go on, my love. That's what it's all about. Well, that's what I've just had the fish on. The humble maggot, voted Angling Times top bait of all time, and no wonder. Fortunately, on this particular lake, there's not many small fish at all, as you've seen in front of the camera, so we've got the chance to use them. So what I'm going to do now is show you the rig that I caught the fish on, and show you actually how I tie it. First of all, we want a bit of small silicone tube. This is the finest bore we do, 1/2 mil, and this bit is probably the trickiest bit of the whole rig. 10 pound IQ through that bit of tube, and then the point of the hook has got to go through that 1/2 mil hole as well, and getting it to go all the way through without coming out the side is the trickiest bit. I've managed to do that okay. Slide that round on the hook like that, and then we want about 5 or 6 inch hook link. And then we pull the line through the silicone. That's going to end up having the maggots on it, that bit there. So we're going to just tie the knotless knot as we normally do. So through the eye towards the point, and then around the hook. Half a dozen, maybe 8 times. That middle finger comes into play to stop it all unravelling, and then the line goes back through the eye of the hook. Simple knotless knot. I'm sure a lot of people already know it. If you don't, you should be using it. And what that's going to do is that's going to cause the hook to turn like that and catch hold, because the line's coming out the front of the eye. Every time it's going to do that and catch hold. And that last fish we had was in the corner of the bottom lip. Right, at the other end, very, very simple. Just want to use some sort of baiting needle. I favour these Gardner retractable ones. We're just making a loop. Remember, we're attaching all our hook links via a quick link. Just making a loop like that, pinching it together, bending it behind itself like that, and the thing that makes the knot a little bit stronger is I'm twisting the loop once towards me, and then with your baiting needle through the double loops, pull the single loop back. And I don't know if you can see there, it's formed like a figure of 8. And then what we want to do, just wet it with a bit of saliva, pull the hook link down first, always tighten the hook link first, and then the tag end pull that down second, but always pull away from the loop, never pull the knot apart like that. That's the worst thing you can do to tighten the knot. Always pull away from the loop with both bits of line, with both the hook link and the tag end. Very important. So a nice simple rig. So we're going to thread the maggots on a needle. I've got mixed here. I found reds are really, really good. I haven't found anywhere where the fish seem to discriminate from them, but certainly the places where they can be used without catching loads of small fish, they will turn the lake over completely. You know, some people favour like one maggot. You know, Rob Malin caught big fish this winter on one maggot. I like a little bunch of them, but I've heard other difficult waters where they're fished a lot, the fewer you use on the hair, the better. So that's our little lively little skewer. Not very nice on a barbie, I would imagine. Right, now we're poking that hair, we're poking that through the eye of the needle, and then with not much of the line left in the needle, we're just pulling those maggots onto the hair. Now obviously, if I don't do something at the end there, they're all going to come straight off again. So I'll show you my way of doing it. Sort of takes a little leaf out of Terry Earn's book. I go back through the eye to form like a D-rig loop. So that's back through the eye there. Just nip the tag end off. Don't want too big a loop. And then this old trusty lighter. Fortunately it's not windy, so that'll just blob up that tag end there so that it won't come back through the eye. See there, if I pull that back, that's not coming through. And then I want to pull that silicone tubing down like that, so they're as close to the bend of the hook as possible. When I cast, they're all going to bunch up down at the bottom end. You don't want them up here, you want them down there to make the point of the hook heavy. So you see there, oh, it's not turning very well, turning that way, turning that way, and it's the slightly in-turned eye along with the stiffness of the hook link which is making it turn. Not turning as effectively as a lot of the other rigs I use, and when we use the new bait clip that we're going to do in a little while, that will enable us to have the hair coming off the hook much further down than that. So like I do with my normal rigs off the bend, and that's going to make the hook turn really, really effectively. But we're going to put this one out again because obviously we caught a fish on it. We're desperate to get back out there again after a day with virtually no action. So what I'll do now is tie up my PVA bag that's going to go with it. I'll just attach that hook link on first. Same system as before, quick link. Got a new lead clip on there, a hybrid lead clip, which I'll talk about in a bit more detail once we've got this rod out in the water. There's another one out by the island, and that just onto that quick link, and then the 3mm silicone sleeve that's sold separately goes over the top, and that just holds the whole lot on, so there's no way that that line can get back out of the quick link.